In today's biased news, Israel is using starvation as a weapon in Gaza. The UAW makes significant gains. And New York City launches a free mental health service for teens. In a handful of Gaza updates, Human Rights Watch has released a report accusing Israel of employing starvation as a weapon of war in Gaza. The evidence presented includes the prolonged blocking of entry for food and water, severe restrictions on humanitarian aid, the destruction of agricultural lands, and the intentional targeting of crucial facilities such as wheat mills, hospitals, and water and sanitation facilities. The organization contends that Israeli officials have explicitly outlined a strategy to use starvation as a tool for political leverage, characterizing it as a horrific war crime. A French Foreign Ministry staff member succumbed to his injuries from an Israeli airstrike in Rafah. He had remained in Gaza after French authorities refused to allow his 4 adult sons to evacuate. The humanitarian situation in Gaza is described as dire, with reports indicating a complete collapse of the water system. Residents are facing severe challenges, including a lack of water, sanitation, fuel, and electricity. Many areas continue to go without basic survival necessities, exacerbating the already critical conditions. U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin has just arrived in Israel to engage in what they call discussions about the military operation. Meanwhile, the UN Security Council is scheduled to vote on a new proposition calling for an urgent and sustainable cessation of hostilities in Gaza. A previous attempt on December 8th was thwarted by an unconscionable veto by the United States. The current Palestinian death toll stands at almost 19,000 confirmed dead. During recent negotiations, the United Auto Workers Union's push for a 4-day, 32-hour workweek without a pay cut faced significant resistance and was ultimately refused. UAW President Shawn Fain believes in the feasibility of the goal, which was originally part of the union's agenda in the mid-20th century. Fain emphasizes the importance of workers reclaiming their lives. The idea was dismissed by automakers, with some executives citing potential losses. During negotiations, Ford CEO Jim Farley argued that agreeing to a 4-day workweek without productivity gains would have led to bankruptcy. Although the 4-day week was not included in the final agreement, the UAW did secure a record contract with an immediate 11% wage bump, additional raises throughout the contract's duration, the reinstatement of cost of living adjustments, improved retirement benefits, and other gains. Most hourly workers at major automakers are expected to be paid at least $43 an hour by April 2028. Fain believes that a 4-day workweek is a realistic goal for the future, citing advancements in technology, such as artificial intelligence, leading to increased productivity. He emphasizes the need to use technology to workers' advantage rather than solely benefiting billionaires. While some automaker executives question the affordability of a shorter workweek, Fain points to global pilot programs and initiatives by companies like Unilever, where employees in certain regions have the choice of a 4-day workweek. He sees the push for a shorter week gaining momentum, especially as the COVID-19 pandemic has prompted discussions about work-life balance and flexible work arrangements. He emphasizes the negative impact of working 7 days a week without the opportunity to work from home, and believes that labor should lead the way in addressing these issues. In today's lightning round, Iraq held its first provincial council election since 2013, likely strengthening the Shiite Muslim alliance's power. Cleric Muqtada al-Sadr, a key rival, boycotted the elections, which involved 17 million eligible voters across 15 provinces. The polls are crucial for the country's preparation for the 2025 parliamentary elections, with the ruling Coordination Framework Coalition expected to solidify its position. Voter turnout is expected to be low. In Serbia's snap parliamentary elections, the ruling Serbian Progressive Party, led by Aleksandar Vučić, secured a significant victory with 47% of the vote, while the main opposition group, Serbia Against Violence, won 23%. The election was viewed as a referendum on the president's leadership amid heightened tensions with Kosovo and recent mass shootings. Observers reported irregularities, including alleged illegal votes and bribery. The opposition is outright rejecting the results in Belgrade, and is calling for immediate protests. U.S. President Joe Biden issued a warning to Congress as Republicans block a $61 billion defense package for Ukraine. Biden expresses strong support for Ukraine, but without congressional backing, the desired funding remains in limbo. The DPRK launched a long-range ballistic missile into the sea, following a previous short-range missile test. The missile was fired from an area near Pyongyang towards the sea off the country's east coast. The launch comes after a joint warning from the US and South Korea against the North's use of nuclear weapons. An ironic statement from the only country to have ever used nuclear weapons on human beings. TikTok is shifting towards longer-form content by phasing out its original Creator Fund. creators seeking to monetize their content will now need to join the new Creativity Program beta, requiring videos longer than 1 minute to qualify for payment. While TikTok claims the shift is based on user feedback, some creators express frustration, fearing it may undermine the platform's initial appeal of short-form content. And in positive news for the day, New York City teenagers aged 13 to 17 can now access free online therapy through the Talkspace platform as part of a $26 million initiative launched by Mayor Eric Adams. The program aims to address the increased mental health challenges reported among young people since the pandemic. Teens can communicate with licensed therapists via text, call, or video chat without incurring charges, utilizing digital platforms to promote positive mental health. While the efficacy of the program remains to be seen, any effort to alleviate the mental health crisis is a step in the right direction. That's all for today. We'll be back on Wednesday with more news. If you appreciate the work we're doing, consider becoming a patron to support the show. All patrons get early access to analysis episodes, as well as an audio version of the news. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.